Hi, my name is Robin Dautricourt. I'm the Principal Product Manager for Amazon Polly. In today's presentation, we'll talk about recreating Colonel Sanders for KFC Canada using Amazon Polly's brand voice. First, we'll start off with an overview of the Amazon Polly service. We'll talk about some of the common use cases for using Polly text-to-speech voices. And then we'll get into a demo. I'll show you the Amazon Polly console. You'll get a chance to learn about some of the features, learn about the portfolio of voices and some of the ways that we can modify the output of the voices, and you'll get a chance to listen to some of our voices across various languages. Next, we'll get into a case study for KFC Canada and the Colonel Sanders voice. This is a brand voice that we built for KFC Canada. And we'll finally conclude with a slide on next steps, some of the ways that you can engage with Amazon Polly. Everything is getting voice enabled. From your smartphone, your car, an AI device that could be in your house and in your room, to your call center when you're calling an airline or a hotel, or to when you're reading an article online and you see that there's a voiced version available. Voicing of content is everywhere around us and it's increasing over and over. However, creating that content using voice talents can be very manual, slow, expensive, and somewhat limiting. The process overall, you need to find a voice talent. You need to create a script for what you're going to record. You bring that voice talent into a recording studio. You produce the audio. You need to edit it. You upload it. If you need new content, you need to repeat the process. This can take time, it can be expensive, and it can't be very dynamic if you need to produce new content quickly. With Amazon Polly, we can address this, and we can cut time and money with automation. The way that we do this is to build a text-to-speech voice that can read any text that you send to the Polly API. That way you can dynamically change the content of what you're going to be playing, and you can listen to that voice in real time or in batch mode. And this way that you can create content in a variety of different languages using many different voices. And with a brand voice offering, you can customize your voice to fit your brand persona. We have many customers who use Amazon Polly across a wide variety of verticals and use cases. These include contact centers, publishers, and education. I'll share a few of these case studies with you. National Australia Bank is an Amazon Connect customer. Amazon Connect offers a cloud-based contact center, and all of the voices through Amazon Connect are supported by Amazon Polly. National Australia Bank was migrating its contact center over to Amazon Connect, and they were looking for a unique voice that would fit their persona, that would match their brand. So I'll let Olivia here, who is an Amazon Polly Australian English voice available to all customers, read this quote from NAB.
We are looking to Amazon Connect to help us improve the experience customers have when they contact our call centers. For that reason, it was also important that the voice we created using Amazon Polly brand voice felt both uniquely NAB and consistent with our position and what our customers expect when they call us. We're thrilled to be a global leader using this voice-first digital innovation, and even more excited to see how our customers interact with the voice and experience as we gradually roll this out.
And now I'll share with you the voice that we created for NAB, which is a brand voice.
Welcome to National Australia Bank. This is the new voice of NAB, created by Amazon Polly, a service that turns text into lifelike speech. This voice has been uniquely created for NAB, providing a consistent experience for our customers whenever they call us.
Great, let's move on to the next customer. The Globe and Mail uses Amazon Polly for more authentic speech. The Globe and Mail is a newspaper in Canada with print and digital versions reaching almost 6 million readers each week. They were looking to revolutionize the way that they were extending their audience by reaching out through a voiced format as well as the reading format. So they used Amazon Polly, they use it in French, in Mandarin, and in English, and they use the Amazon Polly newscaster voice. We'll get into that shortly. And they now voice a large portion of their content online through voice. And here's a quote from Amazon Polly's voice, the US English newscaster voice.
Amazon Polly Newscaster enables us to provide our readers with more features to further their experience with our newspaper. This text-to-voice feature from AWS is miles ahead of anything we've heard to date.
So MCClatchy increases time spent on site by 168% by voicing content with Amazon Polly. And they had a similar use case to the Globe and Mail, but in this case, they were also looking to monetize their solution. So they used Amazon Polly text-to-speech voices as well as the AWS partner Trinity Audio in order to inject ads into the content and to monetize this solution.
At a time when consumption of digital audio is stronger than ever, we're excited to roll out this new audio feature to our customers to enhance their news experience and give them the ability to listen to local journalism where and when they want it.
The audio revolution is also taking place through book reading. So Pearson is rapidly transforming their business from a print book business to a digital courseware, content and assessments business. And this is important because we're now looking at Amazon Polly as voicing content of long form, not just short articles, not just prompts from a contact center script, but in this case for entire books. And here's a voice, this is Amazon Polly Brian, a British English voice that will read this for you.
Pearson is rapidly transforming their business from a print book business to a digital courseware, content, and assessments business. With Amazon Polly, Pearson is able to create audio versions of their textbooks at 1/10 the cost of paid voice actors. They also have the ability to immediately update audio textbooks each time editions are changed or edited.
So you can see that the cost savings here is enormous, 1/10 of the cost, and the ability to refresh your content dynamically in real time as compared to if you needed to bring in a voice talent to re-record certain chapters or phrases that have been changed from one edition to the next. So the ability to synthesize entire books so quickly using Amazon Polly is a huge benefit to book publishers. And now we'll get into a demo of the Amazon Polly console. Here I'll show you what the features are that are available, the voices, the languages, and some of the SSML tags that allow you to modify the speech output, and you'll get a chance to hear a variety of voices as well. This is the Amazon Polly landing page. From here, you can learn all about our text-to-speech service. You can hear samples of the voices, read about the benefits of Amazon Polly, and check out some of the common use cases. The tabs at the top of the page will take you to further information about Polly features, pricing, resources, customer stories, and FAQs. Next, I'd like to introduce you to the Polly console, which you can access by clicking in the top right of this screen on the Polly landing page. For this demo, I have the console open in a separate tab. From the Polly console, you can first select one of the available languages and then choose a voice. For example, I'll have Sally introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Sally. I will read any text you type here.
Most Polly voices are available using the standard engine. However, Polly also offers neural text-to-speech voices that deliver advanced improvements in speech quality through a new machine learning approach. I'll go back to the landing page to copy-paste the first sentence into the console. Okay, now let's listen to the neural version of Joanna read that sentence.
Amazon Polly is a service that turns text into lifelike speech, allowing you to create applications that talk, and build entirely new categories of speech-enabled products.
Let's listen to the same text read by Amy, a British English voice.
Amazon Polly is a service that turns text into lifelike speech, allowing you to create applications that talk, and build entirely new categories of speech-enabled products.
Now let's see what it sounds like with Olivia, an Australian English voice.
Amazon Polly is a service that turns text into lifelike speech, allowing you to create applications that talk, and build entirely new categories of speech-enabled products.
Let's try switching the Polly landing page into Spanish. I'll copy-paste the first sentence into the console and have Lupe read it for us.
Amazon Polly es un servicio que convierte texto en habla verosímil, lo que permite crear aplicaciones que hablan y categorías totalmente nuevas de productos con esta capacidad.
You can use Amazon Polly to generate speech from either plain text or from documents marked up with Speech Synthesis Markup Language, or SSML. We'll test out a few SSML features using the SSML tab in the Polly console. Using SSML Enhanced Text gives you additional control over how Amazon Polly generates speech from the text you provide. For example, you can include a long pause within your text, or change the speech rate, or pitch. Other options include changing the phonetic pronunciation of words, or using the newscaster speaking style. We'll use Kevin's voice to show how we can insert pauses. Kevin is a child voice only available using the neural engine. First, let's have Kevin read a sentence copied from above.
Type or paste your text in the window. Choose your language and region. Choose a voice. Choose listen to speech, and then integrate it into your applications and services.
Now, let's suppose we want a longer pause in between each instruction in Kevin's list. We'll switch over to the SSML tab and add a 1-second pause between each option in Kevin's list by inserting break time equals 1 second.
Type or paste your text in the window. Choose your language and region. Choose a voice. Choose listen to speech, and then integrate it into your applications and services.
Okay, let's switch gears to check out the newscaster speaking style. First, let's open up a blog post in which we wrote about how we built this style using Neural Text-to-Speech, or NTTS. As described in the blog post, NTTS relies on two end-to-end models that predict waveforms, which results in smoother speech than standard voices. NTTS outputs waveforms by learning from training data, which enables seamless transitions between all the sounds and allows us to focus on the rhythm and intonation of the voice to match the existing voice timbre and quality for newscaster speaking style. Let's have Matthew read a couple sentences from that post.
Audio content consumption has grown exponentially in the past few years. Statista reports that podcast ad revenue will exceed $1 billion in 2021. For the publishing industry and content providers, providing audio as an alternative option to reading could improve engagement with users and be an incremental revenue stream.
Now, let's go to the SSML tab and have Matthew read the same text, but this time using the newscaster style. I'll switch over to the Features tab to copy-paste the SSML syntax.
Audio content consumption has grown exponentially in the past few years. Statista reports that podcast ad revenue will exceed $1 billion in 2021. For the publishing industry and content providers, providing audio as an alternative option to reading could improve engagement with users and be an incremental revenue stream.
Some people like to have the flexibility to adjust how fast a text-to-speech voice is reading. Polly makes it easy to change the speech rate, so let's have the newscaster version of Matthew read the same text, but a little faster. Again, I'll go back to the Features tab to apply the correct syntax.
Audio content consumption has grown exponentially in the past few years. Statista reports that podcast ad revenue will exceed $1 billion in 2021. For the publishing industry and content providers, providing audio as an alternative option to reading could improve engagement with users and be an incremental revenue stream.
The newscaster style is also available for the US English voice Joanna, British English voice Amy, and US Spanish voice Lupe. Let's listen to Amy's version of the same text at the default speech rate.
Audio content consumption has grown exponentially in the past few years. Statista reports that podcast ad revenue will exceed $1 billion in 2021. For the publishing industry and content providers, providing audio as an alternative option to reading could improve engagement with users and be an incremental revenue stream.
For more information on how to get the most out of Amazon Polly, I encourage you to check out our detailed documentation. Here, you can learn more about each SSML tag, as well as other important features such as lexicons and speech marks. You can also find resources that will lead you to our WordPress plugin and Amazon Polly for Windows SAPI. Now that I've given you a sense of the public offering through Amazon Polly, and you've seen some of the voices, the languages, and features that are available to all customers, we're going to get into the brand voice offering. This is something that's uniquely offered to specific customers who engage with Amazon Polly. The advantage of the brand voice offering is it gives you brand identity control. If you're looking for a voice that meets your persona, that is unique to what you offer, and you want exclusivity of that voice, that is, no other customer has access to that voice, the brand voice offering may be a good fit for you. Just like any text-to-speech voice, it offers scaling and cost savings. You can reuse the content as many times as you like. You can quickly change and resynthesize a speech if you have any adjustments you need to make. You can dynamically render any text that you need in real time, and you get that unique experience of that branded persona. We also offer this voice through Amazon integrations like Amazon Connect. That's what National Australia Bank has done. And as we get into Kentucky Fried Chicken in Canada, you'll see that they also use their brand voice through an Alexa 3P skill. So now we'll take a moment to talk about KFC Canada and their brand voice. As many of you know, KFC is the world's most popular chicken restaurant. 23,000 KFC restaurants globally, more than 600 locations across Canada. Now, KFC Canada had an Alexa skill, and it used recordings from a voice talent who impersonated Colonel Sanders. But as we discussed, this was somewhat limiting because they couldn't render dynamically new content on the fly. In other words, they only had access to whatever the recordings were that they had previously created using that voice talent. So in order to extend that 3P skill to offer new use cases, new content, it was very time-consuming and costly to go back to that voice talent and update their script, update their flow. So the goal was to provide KFC Canada fans with a truly unique ordering experience by providing a branded voice that could dynamically synthesize content using the Colonel Sanders voice and allow the customers, the users of this Alexa skill, to engage with that Alexa skill in ways that were dynamic, in particular to reorder content. So to reorder a menu order, which you might order a sandwich and a drink and some fries, each time you order something, it's going to have a different price point, different menu items, and so the voice is going to need to be able to dynamically render that content, which may be unique for you and the next order that you make or the order that somebody else makes. So now I'll talk a little bit about how we built that brand voice for KFC Canada. So the first step in a brand voice is to enter into an agreement that is a contract between Amazon Polly and the customer, in this case, KFC Canada. The next step is to agree on the voice persona and the use case. Now in this case, the voice persona was pretty clear. Colonel Sanders is a well-known brand, and the idea was to replicate, impersonate his voice using text-to-speech. So we worked with KFC Canada, we got some speech samples, and we sourced a voice talent. We went out and we searched for a number of voice talents who could fit this particular use case. And we identified a voice talent who became the voice of Colonel Sanders, the brand voice. And what we did is we defined the use case, which was this Alexa 3P skill. And then once we had that voice talent read from a script in a recording studio and produced the training material, the recordings that are used to create a TTS voice, in this case a branded voice. So using those recordings, we built a voice. It was tested on the Amazon Polly side, it was tested by KFC Canada, and once all the testing was complete, it was integrated with the Alexa 3-piece skill that KFC Canada had available in order to render content dynamically. Now here's a sample of Colonel Sanders, the text-to-speech voice.
Hi, I'm Colonel Sanders, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let me tell you a joke. What do you call a chicken crossing the road? Poultry in motion. Got it? Poultry in motion. Food for laughter.
So you've heard many different audio clips throughout this presentation. You've heard the NAB brand voice, you've heard the KFC brand voice. Those are unique voices that only those customers have access to. The others that you've heard, like Joanna, Matthew, Lupe, Amy, those are voices that are available through the public portfolio to all AWS customers. And I'll close with one quote here from the Amazon Polly US English voice, Joanna.
Being one of the first brands to adopt Amazon Polly's enhanced text-to-speech voice technology was a key opportunity to continue building our digital leadership and creating a more seamless and distinctively KFC reordering experience for Canadians.
Now finally, as next steps, if you're interested in exploring Amazon Polly, here are different ways that you can do that. If you're curious about the brand voice experience, you can go to this URL here to reach out to us, let us know what you're looking for, and we'll be happy to follow up and see if we can meet your needs. If you're interested in using a Polly voice in your Alexa skill, that's any Polly voice, brand voice, or any voice that's available through the Polly portfolio, here are some developer guidelines to learn how do you do that. We also offer a WordPress plugin for Amazon Polly, in which you can voice your content through WordPress, and you can use any of the voices available from Amazon Polly, standard voices, neural voices, various features. We also offer a Windows SAPI plugin, and that allows you to use the Amazon Polly voices in Windows applications such as Adobe Captivate. Thank you.